Hi everyone, it's Nikki from Boulder Valley Stitching again. This is my third Flosstube video and it's been about a month since I made one, so I kind of feel like this has become a confessional booth. It's I have sinned with ignoring everything else in my life except for stitching and quilting and crafting. So yeah. Anyway, new location this time. We are venturing into the craft cave, as I like to call it. As you can see by the egress window behind me, we are in my basement, which, by the way, is the messiest room in the house. There's a lot of stuff in here. There's a lot of stuff, and it's really hard to keep things tidy or organized, tidy mostly. But I try, but there's a lot. And you don't realize how messy things are behind you until you try to do one of these videos and you're looking at yourself in your video screen and you're looking at everything behind you and you're going, "Ooh, God, I need to clean up." So you don't want to know all of the stuff that has been transferred to other places down here at this point to make behind me just a little bit better. But it's still pretty chaotic back there. Again, I have every light on down here that I could possibly turn on. So I'm hoping that the lighting won't be really, really bad. But it's kind of getting dark outside right now. There's a storm, I think, that's coming in this weekend. So it's getting a little dark and gloomy, and the upstairs was just way too dark. So I'm hoping that the lighting isn't too bad down here for video. So but just a little, couple things about my room. I've got lots of shelves back here, and over there is my sewing machine, and over there is fabric storage, and behind the camera is actually, I have a makeshift design wall for both quilting and stitching. I like to use it for colors. When I'm picking thread for a new design and I want to lay out colors, I'll use it for colors. And up here on the shelf, the black boxes or the black storage crates up there, those are my scraps. Yeah, those are pretty full. So I need to go through those. I just haven't had a chance to. I keep cutting new fabric and adding to it, so I need to go through those. But I use a lot of those scraps with finishing, finishing, cross stitching, or if I want to make a scrappy quilt. So they're all colored. That's probably the most organized place in my entire room, is that. And if you actually looked in one of those buckets, you would, it's just all jumbled. So it's not really organized. It's just all grouped by color. That's pretty much it. Yeah, this is the craft cave. The craft cave. So let's talk stitching. What have I been doing? I have been trying to get whips done. So for a recap of last year, I had a lot of stuff going on the end of last year, and I had my Stitchy vacation where I got Christmas break and I got Christmas stuff done, which took a lot longer than I anticipated. And then in between, I got to do some stitching. I started a couple new projects and quilting, and just kind of tried to decompress a little bit. But my vacation was good, and last year ended on a high note for me. I mean, it was definitely 2019 was actually a pretty good year for me, and I'm really excited to dive into 2020 and see what happens. So as far as what I accomplished, I don't know. It's okay. But what my main goal over the holidays was to try and knock out some of the whips that I have, because I have a lot of whips. And a lot of you guys had asked from the last video to see some of the stuff in my Stitch and Forget pile. So I have a few things. I decided I wasn't going to go through the entire pile today, but so I would do a little at a time. So I'll do a little today, and then the next video I'll do a little more, and we'll get through it. It's just I'm going to probably take a few videos, because we'd be here forever. Same thing with the whip pile. If I went through the whip pile, we'd be here forever. But let me start with some finishes. So I have one thing that I wanted, or one item I wanted to show you that is fully finished, which is actually something I started last year and I need to finish up, which was, I did the Year of Celebrations, This is January, obviously. For Year of Celebrations, what I did is I have all the material cut for each one of the months, and I'm through June. I need to finish up the rest of the year. And then this board I got from Michael's, and it was actually in their dollar area, kind of up by the check stands. They have all that dollar stuff. They had this stand for $1, and it right there in the front of Michael's, and it's a regular board, and I just paint it black, add a bow. And then each month I switch out the month, and this sits upstairs. So I'm through June. I need to get the rest. Oh, and I have December, so I need to get July through November done. But I think I got a little time. So no worries. So that's the piece that I have upstairs right now. It's kind of my calendar piece. But for I have stuff that I finished stitching, but I haven't fully finished yet. So that's what's over here. I managed to get I post, if you follow me on Instagram, you guys have already seen all this stuff. But this is Rooster Ride by Kathy Barrick, which I think that's how you say her last name, who's also Carriage House. I really want to rename this to Santa and the Christmas Chicken, or possibly, Rudy, the red-beaked chicken or rooster. Rudy, the red-beaked rooster. Yeah, that was it. But I still like Santa and the Christmas Chicken. I did like the way this one came out. This is a 28 count even weave that I dyed a green, kind of a Christmas green color. And this pattern was in Just Cross Stitch magazine. I think it was the 2000 edition. It was either 2000 or 2001 of the annual ornament edition. So I decided, I'll show you. It's behind me. Because I love things like this. I'm a collector. I'm kind of a collector, but I love Cross Stitch magazine. Especially the ornament edition. It's one of my favorite editions. And when I got back into a lot of stitching a few years ago, I didn't have a whole lot of patterns or anything, and I really loved some of the old magazines. And you can find them sometimes in thrift stores, or you can buy them online. But surfing around Amazon, yeah. So Amazon, me, we're best friends. I'm telling you, best friends. Anyway, I found this. So this is a DVD. Well, yeah, it's a CD DVD, and it has all of the Just Cross Stitch Ornament Edition magazines from 97 to 2013. So it's got all of the editions, and they're PDFs. So you find the one you want, and you literally can print off the PDF. It was amazing to me, because then I didn't have to go and try and hunt and find all of the back issues. I didn't have to buy each individual back issues on my iPad or order them. They were all on this. It was totally worth, for me, it was totally worth what I spent on it. And I think I spent about 35. I think I spent $35 on it. And to me, totally worth it. But I decided, since I had this last year, I was going to do a ornament from each year, each month. So, or start, I should say start an ornament from each year, the beginning of each month. So, April 1st, I did that year, and then I had them all picked and everything, and then I got behind. But so that's where this one came from, and that's why, and you'll see it, some of the stuff that I finished stitching was from older editions of Just Cross Stitch magazine, because I got them off of my DVD. So I love that thing. I absolutely love it. Of course, then after I got the Christmas one, what did I do? Yep, I had to get the Halloween one. Of course I did. What? I mean, really? I mean, come on. Of course I had to get the Halloween one. So now, again, this is all of the annual Halloween editions that Just Cross Stitch magazine does from 2011 to 2014. So, and this is the other one I absolutely love. So yeah, of course I had to buy the second one. I mean, come on. I'm a collector. Come on, let's be real. But that's why some of these patterns you'll see are from old editions. So they came off of that DVD, and I love it. I love that DVD. But so I did that one, and then I got this one done, which was a kind of a Swedish theme. It was called Reindeer Garden. And this one, I changed it a little bit because right here, there was a date. On the pattern, I believe it said 2000 or 2001. I can't remember which one it was, but it had a date of 2000, 2001. And I like putting dates on stuff. Excuse me. I like putting dates on stuff, but for an ornament, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to put the date on it. So I took the date off, and I put this symbol up here too. So I changed it a little bit. But this was Reindeer Garden, and that also came from the DVD. Sorry, guys. Had to clear my throat there for a second. So anyway, but Reindeer Garden, I love the way this turned out. And this was a 32 count Belfast that I use this one on. Cream Belfast I use it on. And I love the way the colors turned out. The other one I finished, like I said, this is all stuff I finished stitching, but I haven't fully finished, was this one. This was Heart and Hand, and it was a vintage Christmas one that she did, and it was actually the picture of for the pattern had it on this color material, but there's a lot of white on this, and I struggle a lot with white showing up on lighter fabrics. I mean, everybody does, but I don't know. For me, I want the contrast. So I decided that I really wanted this particular pattern and scene to be a night version, like a night scene. So I did it on a blue, like a darker blue fabric. This is a 28 count even. This is linen, 28 count linen, to make it just more of an evening scene. So, and I do really like the way the white showed up on this one. So I like the way that one turned out. I need to finish it though. And then last night, I decided I wanted to get some of my little ones, my smalls done. So I had my two Prairie Schooler mini cards. I have more than these, but these are the two that I started. I started these for Jolly July, and they were small enough. I decided, you know what, I'm gonna knock those out. I'm gonna knock them out. I'm gonna get them done. So I got that one. This is the Santa, ho 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 Santa, and they were actually they were bigger than I thought they were going to be based on the card, but it's a Santa, and that'll make a good ornament. And then this one was the kind of a sampler Christmas tree. It's got all the letters, but this was, and both of these are on even weave. These are both even weave. This one I dyed to that kind of Christmas green color, and this one I left as actually this is tea dyed. Sorry, this is a tea dyed even weave that I did. And this is one that I Rit dyed for kind of a Christmas green. And I really like the way this green works with some of these Christmas ornaments and decorations. So I do like the way that turned out. But those are the finishes that I had. And I really, because I was working on all of those and knocking them out and everything else that I was doing for Christmas and getting ready, I didn't work a whole lot on the whips that I have, which I should have, but I didn't. But I did manage to get a little bit more done on my Pride and Prejudice one from Sapphire Mountain, which I'm really excited that the next one, which is Three Musketeers, came out. Well, the reservations came out today, so I need to get my reservation in for the Three Musketeers one that she's got starting. I think it's later this month. So that's the next stitch for it's a Stitchy book club, and I love it. It's an Instagram thing. I absolutely love it. But this is how far I got a little bit further on Pride and Prejudice. This is also that 32 count cream Belfast. So that was how far I got on that. yeah, so that's as far that's what I have for whips and finishes, and I need to get them fully finished. I know I need to, but I just haven't yet. So let's talk about the stitch and forget pile. Like I said, I decided I wasn't going to go through the whole thing, but I would pull a few out and show a little at a time. I tried to grab some that were kind of more the seasonal, like this season, and I really didn't have any, so I just started grabbing stuff. This one I finished a few months ago. This is my Rooster, and this was a JBW design, and it was a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. And it was Red Rooster, I think, but it's I really like the way that this one came out. I mean, because it's literally it's just one color. It's one color. There's no color changes, and I did use the fancy floss on it because I kind of wanted a little bit of variegated thread, the color change. So I did use fancy floss on this one. But I really do like the way the Rooster came out. I need to get this one finished so that I can get him hung up on the wall because he's more of an everyday rooster. He needs to be hung up on the wall. He's not seasonal, so that could just kind of be all the time. Then another, so that one was in my stitch and forget or pile, and all of these are, by the way. One of the previous retreats, stitching retreats that I did up at Estes Park, we did Olga's Tart. And this is a Plum Street sampler, Olga's Tart. Yeah, that I love this one because I love this cat, but I need to get it in the Tart pan. So I need to finish this one again. It's more of it's more of a fall Halloween one. So it's always, here it is, January. This is one I probably won't display until October. So I've got a little bit. It'll probably end up waiting. I need to get it finished though. I do know I do. But Olga's Tart, and I do love the way this one turned out. Another one that I have is, I used to do this, but I haven't. I don't do it anymore. I haven't decided if I want to pick it back up yet or not. I really like the Color and Cotton mystery boxes that she does, and I am part of the monthly linen subscription club that she has. But I like her mystery boxes where it's the Halloween theme or the Christmas theme. But there was another company that I had did a few of that same type of mailing with, monthly mailing, which was called Stitchy Box or Stitchy Box. Anyway, I think it was Stitchy Box. But she did the same type of a thing where it was kind of a mystery mailer where you had some fabric and usually there was a pattern involved and thread and everything, and it was just kind of a lots of different stuff. And I ended up not doing it for a few months, and who knows, maybe I'll pick it back up. I don't know. I have so many things I need to stitch though. I probably do not need to add to my stash in any way, shape, or form, but yet, I still shop. I mean, I'm telling you, between Fat Quarter Shop and the local shops, the sales, this Christmas, I mean, I might as well have just handed every single one of them my credit card and just walked away, because it was, we won't talk about how many things I bought for myself. Yeah, we won't talk about them. Anyway, Stitchy Box. So this was one of the patterns and material and everything that came with one of those monthly boxes. And it's really hard to see in this lighting, but it's a purple, it's this beautiful purple fabric, and it had the orange. It's kind of hard. Maybe I'll see if I can, maybe this will be better. I'll put this on the board. Maybe it won't be quite so. There. That might be easier to see. So it's this just beautiful purple fabric, and the thread was an orange silk, a Dinky Dyes orange silk, and then a green silk. And I loved it. It was actually a very quick stitch. The designer was Summer House. Stitchworks, something like that. Was the designer for this, and it was kind of a smaller pattern for the monthly box, but it was a really quick stitch, and I just love the way that the orange looks on the purple fabric, and this is a color combination I would have never put together on my own. It just not that I just wouldn't have. But I do love the way that one turned out. Let's see. Okay, this one. This will tell you how old this Stitchy pile is. This Stitch and Forget pile. This one has a date. This one has a date on it, and it's really sad that I have not finished it up to this point. This is my Witch. La-di-da designer, and it's Witch, and look at the date on there. 17. So 2 years ago. I finished this 2 years ago, and I still haven't fully finished it. That's sad. That's really sad. But this one, I thought this dress was going to kill me. I really did. This dress, that's a lot of black thread. It's all black thread. I mean, the whole thing is black thread. And this one, I really wasn't sure if I was going to make it through this dress. But I do like the way it turned out, and I need to get it finished because it's been 2 years. She needs a little love. But you know, Halloween, so it'll probably end up waiting. But yeah, La-di-da, Witch. This is also a 28 count even weave. This is also an even weave. So yeah, and that was one that I coffee tea dyed. Now I also have in here. I love the chalkboard designs. I love Priscilla and Hands-On Designs collaboration with the chalkboard. Chalk on Farm, and just the different ornaments that they've done over the year, and the magazines. I absolutely love that look. I love the chalkboard look. So this is, there are a couple years. I mean, this was one of her series that she did a few years ago. This was the yearly chalk designs that Hands-On Design did, and this was October, and this was November. For that year, or for the year, sorry. And I this was a slate, even weave slate, or linen. Sorry, no, I'm telling you incorrectly. This was a linen, but I know that the name of it was slate, and I have not been able to find this linen anywhere else again. It was given to me by my mom. My mom gave me this, and it's one of those things where I don't know that I can get it anymore. I think I don't think they make it anymore. But I did find I have a lot of other chalkboard black linen, but what I liked about this one was I really liked this linen because it really did look like a chalkboard with the white kind of down here, and it wasn't pure black. It's more of a gray. Easier to stitch on. Way easier to stitch on this than to stitch on black. I still, and I have a lot of black and chalkboardy fabric in my bin upstairs to work on different chalkboard designs, but I love that chalkboard look. So it's one of my favorite things, but I really like that one because it wasn't pure black, which was nice. Let's see. Next in the pile, here, let me put this back on see if we can get that to be a little easier to see. This is November. This was a monthly series that Shepherd's Bush did. They had these kits. These were little monthly kits, and this was obviously November. But I don't have the other months. I only have November. It's sad. I only have November. But I think I know why. Is because I have a lot of Halloween and I have a lot of Christmas, but I really don't have a whole lot of Thanksgiving. I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but it seems like Thanksgiving designs and stitching just it's totally overshadowed by Halloween stitching. I have fall stitching, but I don't have a lot that says November or screams Thanksgiving. And I know that's why I got it, was because I really wanted something that was geared towards Thanksgiving. And yet here it is sitting unfinished. So I need to, like I said, now this one, I'll put it on the board before I hold it up so that it's a little bit easier. This one, I like this one. This was a With Thy Needle and Thread, and for the life of me, I am blanking on what the name of it was. I'll put the name in the description box when I remember what it is. I'll have to go and pull the pattern and look it up. But I really do like the way this one came out. This one was this is a 36 count linen called Mellow, and look at it, it's so wrinkled. It's called Mellow, and this one is done with one thread over two with the stitching, and it was so delicate. I felt like it was so delicate compared to some of the other stuff that I do because of the one thread over the two. It was, kind of light, and I think I do like the way that it came out, that it was just kind of a little bit more primitive, and I love that look. But I think if I was going to do it again, I would probably do a bigger count and use two strands. But I do like it. It's very primitive look. And the last one I'll show you today. There'll be more. The last one was Hallow. This was a stitch along that Priscilla and Chelsea did. That I love this pattern. This was a Little House Needleworks pattern. When I saw it, I loved it. The funny story about this one, the house and the pattern is not blue. It's not a blue house. It's a brown house, I think. Pretty sure it's a brown house. I got through pretty much, I think I stitched like this whole section of the house. And then I saw a picture, and I think it was Priscilla that posted the picture. Somebody on Instagram posted a picture of the house in blue, a blue house. And yeah, that was it. I liked the blue house so much. I frogged that whole house and restitched it in blue. Yeah, that's how crazy I am. I wasn't satisfied with it. I tried to keep going, and I tried doing the stuff out here, and then I ended up, I put it to the side because I just really wanted the blue house. And I figured I was convinced that if I didn't change it to the blue, I was never going to finish the piece. I was never going to finish the stitching because I really just wanted the blue house. I wasn't satisfied with the brown, so I frogged. I frogged that entire blue house, that whole section, and started over with the blue. But I do love the way that it came out. I love this one. It's one of my favorites. So yeah, but again, Halloween. Well, I guess that's fall. I guess that's more fall. So that I can do it for fall. So that's part of the Stitch and Forget file, or pile. I keep saying file, but it's a pile. It is a pile. Guys, I had fun this Christmas. I really did. Like I said, we won't talk about how much money I spent on myself, but I did want to show one thing that I bought for myself that I really like. And that was, I bought myself a planner, a scrappy project planner from Lori Hope through Flat Quarter Shop. Again, they had so many wonderful sales. Oh my God, they had so many sales. It turned into every day towards before Christmas, because they did the 12 days before Christmas, they did a sale every day, like a good sale every single day for the 12 days before Christmas. And on this day, they had accessories, like, this kind of stuff, and clothing. So my Stitching with the Housewife shirt on sale for 40% off. Oh yeah. No, let's just bring that credit card back out. And it turned into every day I almost had to avoid it. I'd open it up and go, ooh, I want that too. And okay, I got to stop ordering. I got to stop ordering. It was hard. It was very hard not to order every single day because they had really good stuff that they had put on sale for the Christmas holidays. So, but now I know next year, I now know what to expect. I didn't know. Now I know, but I did. I bought myself a Stitchy planner, and this is for quilting and design work. The reason I wanted it wasn't just for quilting. I wanted it for cross stitch designs as well because it has all of these really cool layout pages in the back where you can uh, here's a project where you can kind of draw out what you want to do, and that's why I wanted it. So when I was doing designing up until now, I have a sketchbook that I was using, but it's not a gridded sketchbook, it's just sketches, and those work right up until you have to try and lay them out onto a piece of fabric. The gridding helps. The grid really helps when you're trying to lay stuff out for stitching and for quilting, but definitely for stitching. Really helps, especially if you're limited to a size. So that's one thing with like Cross Stitch Magazine, you have a size limit. Your design has to fit within a certain size. So having the grid where you can, count the stitches and make sure that you're in the size requirements helps a lot. So that was why I wanted that. And I got my Stitching with the Housewife shirt. So I was really excited about that because I'm wearing that to StitchCon. Yay. And I got some other stuff too. I got lots of stuff. I got kind of spoiled. This Christmas, which is okay. But I wanted to show you this really cool thing that my uncle made. He made one for me and he made one for my mom. This is really this is really cool. This he made these. He has I think it's a lathe. I think it's a lathe that he has. But these are wood. It's a wood shaft here that he makes, but at the end, it's a seam ripper. Yep, seam ripper. There's actually two, so it turns into a seam ripper, and there's another attachment for it. So I could take this one off, and he got these seam ripper attachments, and this one is a needle threader. So he ordered these parts, and then he made this wooden. And it's beautiful. It's so smooth. It's heavy. To have the seam ripper and the needle threader in here, and this is one of those things that I think is so cool, and he's so talented to be able to do this. This is, and then you can close it up, and then it kind of looks like a pin. You can drop it in your bag. But I just think this is really awesome. So he got me one, and he gave one to my mom. So that was one of my Christmas presents. I like it. So yeah, so I got that. I got something else. It wasn't exactly a Christmas present. It was kind of a hand-me-down, but I love it, and I want to show it to you guys. My mom got she used to use this. It's a lap desk. It's kind of like a lap board for stitching, and she had she got a stand created for us because she likes to sit in a chair and use both hands while stitching, and so I sit on the couch. I sit on the couch with my light over my head. So I'm kind of, it's like I want to be in the Barca lounger. I don't want to sit up straight in a chair. My mom does, I don't. But so everything ends up going on my lap, and I'll have scissors and thread and everything, floss packets, everything is all sitting on my lap. But she had this board. Oops. This here. Hold it up here a little bit. This is a lap desk that it's called Bee's Knees, and I believe La-Di-Da created the original design for these. And I have the pattern. I have the pattern on how to make these, but I haven't made one for myself. I actually considered making some of these and putting them up in the Etsy shop and see what happens, but I just haven't done it yet because I don't know how many people stitch this way other than me, where everything kind of goes on your lap. But it's a lap desk that's got a beanbag thing here, so it keeps your legs really warm when you're sitting in the living room, by the way. But this has a magnet, like, so sheet metal basically behind this, so that it has magnets. You can put magnets on it. So I have my my pattern here, and I can put my flosser thing. So when it sits on my lap, it sits like this, and everything's here. When I get up, I just move this over to the side, set it down, and I don't have to put anything away. That's amazing. All I have to do is just set it over to the side, and then the next night when I go to stitch, I pick it back up and put it back in my lap. I don't have to get anything out of a bag. It's awesome. So that was the other thing that was not exactly a Christmas present. It was a hand-me-down, but I love that thing. And I love that it has the magnets, and I can put everything on it. And then when I'm done for the day, I can just set it to the side and start again the next day. So I love it. But that's cross stitch stuff. That's all the cross stitch stuff that I was working on and had to show you today. But I also wanted to show you a couple of the quilts that I ended up, and I forgot to pull one of the quilt tops out because it's not fully finished yet. I haven't put the borders on because I'm still waiting on fabric. I'm still trying to find fabric for the borders, which was the acorn caps that came with the Sew Sampler box. And I love the way it turned out. I love the way the colors turned out, but I need the borders. So if I can get the fabric for that, I'll show it next time. But I did a couple others. So this one, because I had to play with my new sewing machine. My husband bought me a new sewing machine. Can you believe that? I cannot. I was almost in tears because it's not something, I know. It's just not something I would have ever bought for myself. I just probably wouldn't have done it. So he bought me for Christmas a new sewing machine. That my old sewing machine was great at piecing, but I couldn't quilt on it. It just wasn't designed for that. It was not designed for quilting. I couldn't even buy a walking foot for it. I tried. And it was such an old model that I was having a hard time finding any parts for it at all. So I couldn't buy a walking foot. I just couldn't do quilting on it. But I could do piecing just fine. So I have probably 5 tops needing to be quilted that are just sitting because I didn't have a machine. So he bought me a machine over Christmas, and I swear to God, I actually got teary-eyed because it was just so overwhelming and so awesome because it's not something I would have bought for myself. But it came from him and the kids, and so I've been playing with it. I've been playing with it since Christmas, and I ventured into my first attempt at free motion quilting, which let me tell you, this ain't easy. This is going to take practice. It's going to take some serious. It's going to take practice. But I did a table topper. This is a Sister's Choice pattern, and it's really actually the same block. The layout of the block is the same for each one of these, but because of the fabric layout, they all look different, but they're not. They are and they're not. But this was a jelly roll, of course, because I love jelly rolls. That's my favorite pre-cut. And it was a jelly roll that I made into Sister's Choice blocks. And then I did my border. And then I tried the free motion quilting, which just don't look too close to it. I learned some things. I learned that thread and needles are very important. You don't try to use low weight thread for quilting. Don't do it. Thread breaks a lot. So the type of thread that you use and the needle that you use with that thread is also really important because it will snag and break, and it's no fun. But once I got the rhythm going. Once I kind of figured out the rhythm, it was a lot of fun to do it once I got the hang of it. But I need a lot of practice. A lot of practice. And it's a good thing. So I've got 5 quilt tops to practice on. So yeah, we'll go down that route. But since I had jelly rolls left over, I had strips. I had jelly roll strips left over from that project. I decided to make a second different. So let me back up. I have Christmas table runners and toppers, but I don't have winter. So that's why I did that. I wanted a winter one, not a Christmas one. And then I still had a bunch of jelly roll strips left over. So I did a second, that's a topper. And the next one I did is a runner for my dining room table, because my kitchen table is smaller, obviously, than my dining room. So that's why I always make 2. I always have 2, one for each table. This is my mini rail fence. I think that's what it's called. Mini rail fence. And I haven't done the quilting on this. I've only done the top. I've only done the patchwork or piecing. Sorry, the piecing on it. This is my leftover jelly roll strips that I did as my. So honestly, one jelly roll, and it wasn't that big of a jelly roll. It was actually a small one. It was one of the 20 count jelly roll packs. So it would have been a junior one. Made 2. It easily made 2 of those table runners with one jelly roll. So I need to get the second one quilted up, and then I'll go and put that one upstairs too. But so those are the ones that I finished up, and I'm so overwhelmed. There are so many stitch alongs and quilt alongs too that I want to do right now. It's a little overwhelming. I actually, every time I get on Instagram, I'm like, ooh, another stitch along, and it's like I gotta calm down. I gotta not do every single stitch along. I am a stitch along junkie. Stitch along junkie and is me. I have not met a stitch along I didn't want to do. That's what it boils down to. So, but I need to be choosy. I need to be a little bit more picky about some of the stitch alongs, but it's just, there's so many, and there's so many really, really cute stitch alongs for like the book club one that's coming out, and then there's ones that Priscilla and Chelsea do with like the chalkboard ones, and even the pumpkin hollow one was a stitch along. And there's so many that I want to do and I want to be involved in that I'm going to end up back with 70 whips if I'm not careful. And then there's so many quilt alongs, same thing. Same exact thing as a stitch along, just for quilting. So many of those that I want to do too, and I need to. There was one that I'm definitely doing, which is a scrappy. It's a year-long scrappy quilt along where every month she gives you a new challenge. So like this month, the challenge is to use jelly roll strips, to use 2.5-inch wide strips in a project, and to kind of organize your jelly rolls. And since, and I couldn't resist, because obviously jelly rolls is my favorite pre-cut, I have tons of 2.5-inch strips of full strips, partial strips, squares, all over the place. So and next month it'll be something different, but this month is jelly roll strips. So I love the idea of using up scraps every month, like a different type of scrap every month. I really do like that concept and idea, so I'm definitely doing that one. And then there's there's so many other ones. There's another one that Kansas City girl in a Colorado World told me about. I saw her post and I've been asking her about it, which I think it's Meadow Park. I think it was called Meadow Park that I've been looking at that I really like, and I think I'm going to sign up for that one too. She's doing that one as well, and we've been talking about that one lately, and I really think I need to sign up for that one too. But I need to I'm not going to sign up for every one of them because it will just consume me. It will consume me. So I need to be picky. I need to be choosy. But there's so many plans going on down here. And like I said, you're in the craft cave. There's just so much stuff that I want to do in 2020. So many things that I want to stitch, I want to finish, things I need to design, things I want to work on, stuff I'm putting together. And I honestly, I can't wait to show you guys some of the stuff that I've been designing and stuff I've been working on. I can't wait to show you guys. I hope you guys stick around and join me for that. So there will be more to come. There will definitely be more to come. And I need more hours in the day. Geez, I need more hours in the day. I need more stitchy time in the day. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I can give up sleeping. No, I already do that. Anyway, that's all I had today, guys. Thank you for sticking around with me and listening to me ramble and looking at all my stuff. But so far the lighting's been okay in here, so maybe we'll continue to do the craft cave. I don't know. We'll see. I like the dining room too, so we'll see. But I just didn't want to carry everything upstairs. Is what it came down to. I was being lazy today. But yeah, that's all I really had. And thanks for hanging out with me for 45 minutes, and let me know what you think. If you have any questions or want to see something specific, let me know. And I hopefully will see you all again very soon. You guys have a great session. I plan on knocking out some whips this weekend. It's Friday, obviously. Friday, awesome, best day of the week, Friday. I plan on knocking out some more whips this weekend if I can. Some of my smalls. Working on Pride and Prejudice some more. Maybe some others. Getting my thoughts and ideas for my scrappy jelly roll challenge and trying just kind of decompressing a little bit. And I'm gonna have my goal this weekend is to have another Stitchy craft weekend. Maybe I'll even go so bold as to do some finishing. We'll see if that happens. But you guys have a great weekend. Especially, I also think it's supposed to snow here this weekend, so I don't know. Maybe not. Perfect weather to not go outside. Anyway, you guys have a great weekend. I will see you again. Thanks for stopping by, and let me know what you think. I love comments. I read them all. I love hearing from you guys. So I will talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.